Now we move over to our coverage of the Raisina Dialogue, where my colleague and senior editor, Uday Pratap Singh, has spoken to the president of the Institute of Economic Growth, NK Singh, about the economic implications of the Iran conflict for India, the impact of recent free trade agreements on exports and economic growth. All of this and more at the Raisina Dialogue being held in India's capital. Let's take a look.
Well, joining us now, NewsX, is NK Singh, President of Institute for Economic Growth. He's, of course, been someone who's worked in finance for many, many years, heading the chairmanship for the Planning Commission as well. But welcome. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us on NewsX. My first question to you, of course, is on the economic climate right now. There's a lot of uncertainty with the Middle East conflict prolonging now on what the economic costs of the war will be, also its effects on oil supply.
Well, India is exceedingly well placed. Its economy is sound. The soundness of its macroeconomic policy will not deter us from continuing to remain the fastest growing economy in the world, to achieve rates of economic growth, which is on the northwards of 7% real GDP growth, combining the virtues of overall symmetry between monetary and fiscal policy in what has been repeated as the Goldilocks moment for India. India knows credibly how to balance these contradictions, how to manage these risks in a manner, because it is well positioned to do so. Also in terms of the fact that it has a very large domestic market, it has a large base of domestic investors, and it will therefore make all the endeavor of how to mitigate and manage the risks of the uncertainties in terms of energy and the uncertainty which this war entails. India will continue to be and remain the fastest growing economy in the world. And I do not think that its rates of economic growth over the next couple of years is likely to be dented with these new added uncertainties. And we are well positioned to manage these risks in a credible way.
Also, the plethora of free trade agreements signed in the recent few months, how is that going to help further trade, of course, with the European Union, Oman, New Zealand, also the United States?
So the plethora of free trade agreements have their own value. They represent a new India, a new India, of being able to withstand external competition, of the ability to move out of a protectionist era to where competitive efficiency of capital and competitive efficiency of the economy will be put to greater use in being able to harness these new markets which are opening up, and the ability of our exports to meet the daunting standards, but the great access which the free trade agreement provides equally for domestic market to brace up, to face new competition, which inevitably free trade agreements entail. It combines the virtues, high rates of economic growth, greater access, and enable a faster spur of making our domestic economy globally competitive.
And my final question to you, sir, since you are at Raisina Dialogue, we've seen the President of Finland come here as chief guest for the inaugural with Prime Minister Modi. There are also a plethora of foreign ministers of various countries in attendance here. We've also seen a big focus on foreign policy by Prime Minister himself, leading from the front, but S. Jaishankar ably helping as Foreign Minister of India. Do you believe our foreign policy has reaped dividends in the last few years and is pretty robust as you see it?
I think that the leadership of the Prime Minister Modi and the Jaishankar, the Foreign Minister working under his guidance, has been a nimble-footed one, a nimble-footed example of balancing contradictions to India's advantage, driven all the time, one national interest occupying the center place. We have managed these contradictions in a credible way. The world is in some awe of the ability of India to maneuver through these contradictory forces, keeping the priority and focus on overriding national priority and interest. Raisina is, from this point of view, an enriching experience. It's enriching in terms of yet another example of people with domain expertise and knowledge coming to share their views and to have interactions of a meaningful kind with their counterparts in India. It has been, as in the past, a very enriching and enlivening experience.
Thank you very much for your time. With journalist Dinesh Thakur, Uday Pratap Singh in Delhi, NewsX.